up there, ladies and cum dribblers? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Not really. It's rainy and shitty out here in Ohio.
It is.
But we're here. We're not queer. I say that every week, don't I? Yeah. I say you're queer. It just sounds so good. It runs together.
You know what I'm tired of?
What?
First of all...
not Mexicans again, is it?
Rainy, shitty. I love rain. Oh. It's one of my favorite things. You're going to rag on me and do all you want. I'm just... the thing about it is, regardless of what my opinion is, if I hear about something too much, I just get tired of hearing it.
You just get annoyed.
Brittany Griner.
Well, you're going on this every week.
Because every week
I think
a new WNBA team is doing a 42-second fucking thing at half court. Come on, can we just...
I think our podcast listeners feel the same, though. They're like, shut the fuck up about Brittany Griner, buddy.
Well, the whole point is, I don't care if it was, you won the lottery. Hey, I'm going to go great. I'm going to talk to you about it for weeks. Mm-hmm. But if next week, did you hear Jason won the lottery? Fuck, I heard already. Stop.
See, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. The only time I ever hear her name is when I show up every week and do this podcast. But
you don't see it on Facebook all the fucking time?
No. I guess
well, you don't click on those little videos.
I
do.
We got different algorithms, I think. I know. I don't really see it. That's the thing, though. If you click on it once, it's going to pop in your feed 100 times.
Well, maybe that's
that's part of it. So especially if you click on a couple of them, at this point, they're like, man, this dude's really into her. So let's just keep on putting it on there. Because I don't see it. But I don't watch Sports Center anymore. I don't do any of that shit.
You don't watch Sports Center anymore?
I don't watch TV. I watch the actual live events. You know what I mean? Like, I'll watch a game. I'll watch the UFC. But outside of that, I haven't watched... I started reading real strong about 3 months ago, and I don't... That's it. Like, that's all I do with my free time. I sit out here in the garage and fiddle around on a computer and do online shit, or I'm reading. I don't watch TV.
Do you masturbate still?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Certain things are important.
Sometimes the books make me masturbate. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm in a real hot chapter.
You read pretty dark books, man.
Maybe I'm into some dark shit,
Hold on a second. He's shooting heroin in his cock.
Well, right now I'm reading about a child soldier in Sierra Leone, so maybe I shouldn't be jerking off. But, there's some good parts.
I was talking to Matt about something the other day. Me and Matt were having an in-depth discussion on the Holocaust.
Oh, yeah? Is he a big fan?
Well, obviously not.
Does he think it existed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's not a denier of the Holocaust.
As a matter of fact,
I love those people.
He was, pretty fucking appalled by it, and like everyone is, but he told me about a movie.
Not many people are like, that Holocaust, great thing.
No, but what I mean is it kind of, he wasn't just talking about it like, boy, that sucked. He was talking about it like, what I think his religious side from the past has got, the abomination, and I get it. But he told me about this movie, and I'm thinking about watching it. About some kid in a concentration camp, boy in the striped pajamas. Did you hear about that?
Nope.
Apparently, this kid in the concentration camp is a Jewish kid. He's in Auschwitz, and he becomes friends with the commandant's son. Okay? Mm-hmm. And they become friends through the fence and all that. And apparently, one day, the commandant's son decides... that he wants to play with his friend, and as a kind of a joke or whatever, he puts on a fucking prison uniform. Well, next thing you know, he's in the gas chamber too, and he gets whacked.
Sorry about your luck, buddy.
Yeah. So he said you want to watch that, but movies like that fuck with me for like weeks.
I've watched 2 movies in the last 3 months or so, and they've both been... I watched a 3rd movie this week, and it was all right. So 3 movies, 2 of them were fucking god-awful, and that's that Prey movie. I think I talked about
with
this
the
last
animals,
week.
CGI animals.
Yeah, with the Prey, with the fucking fake predator, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that new Jamie Foxx movie, Night Shift, on Netflix, where he's like a vampire hunter and Snoop Dogg. That fucking shit is booty. I mean, there's some like cool scenes of people getting killed, but the movie is so bad. Jamie Foxx is... I remember him being a good actor.
He was.
He's not in this. He's awful.
Is he?
And then Snoop Dogg's Snoop Dogg. He just plays Snoop Dogg with a cowboy hat on. The whole thing's fucking bullshit. I watched maybe 3/4 of it and turned it off and was pissed. It's like, I don't have much time in my life, and I'm going to waste it on this fucking movie? They don't make anything good. And then I watched Black Phone with Ethan Hawke plays a serial killer. That was all right.
I like serial killer movies.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
So I'm sitting at home the other day, and I'm going through my weird fucked up ads in these fucking adult personals. Mm-hmm. There was actually a woman in there advertising, looking for a dog to fuck. And she wanted a man to come over with his trained fucking dog to fuck her. Mm-hmm. Her exact word was knotted. She wanted to get knotted.
So this is a thing?
It's a thing.
You looked up knotted?
Yeah. And what it is
because their dog dicks are knotted?
At the bottom, apparently when the dog dick goes in, mm-hmm. it expands at the base of the shaft with this big knot, mm-hmm. so the female dog can't go away.
Yeah, evolution supports rape.
Yeah,
Like that's basically what it does. The dog evolved so it could get a better rape on.
But it's amazing to me that this woman is actually thinking, hey, maybe there's a man out there reading this that has a trained dog that can bring over.
Well, there's
no
maybe.
Me.
There is a man out there that has a trained dog that fucks people.
Probably fucks his wife.
But what's the chance that the guy
wife.
happens to be reading the same advertisement as this lady? But I mean, apparently this is where the freaks go. So there's probably a good chance.
Freaks come out at
Now,
night.
I couldn't see there being like... See, that's one of those things. There's maybe like 20 specialists in the country maybe that do this.
Oh, I think there's more than that.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't think that was like a big market. I didn't think every city you could go to and you'll find 5 dog fuckers.
No way. You'll
know
find
what I mean?
more than that. You'll find hundreds.
Really?
Hundreds.
How about hundreds of trained dogs? Each city only has 1 or 2 maybe?
Well, I think the dog has to be trained.
Yeah. Well, of course
mean,
the dog has to be
not a
trained. I don't
dog
think it's their
pussy, it's a
natural instinct to
person
fuck
pussy.
animals. Or to fuck humans.
Yeah.
Even though there's been multiple times, not with my current, but I mean in the past, I do remember having a couple dogs be attracted to actually just my one dog. But either way, anytime there was a beaver,
Wolfie?
no, this is the old
okay.
dog. Anytime there was an exposed beaver in the room, he would go try to get a quick sniff of it and like try to get pretty close. So and that happened multiple times with this particular dog.
Exposed beaver in the room.
A little beaver was just hanging out in the corner. The dog used to get really excited.
Well, I think obviously the scent, but it just amazes me. As twisted and fucked up as my sexual thinking is,
yeah, that's
an
different
animal,
though, man.
that's way different.
I mean,
that's mental illness, right?
You can
there.
be really kinky, but it doesn't mean you're going to be into bestiality and like
Right.
child porn and like weird shit.
Right.
Like that's a different. That's not even like creepy at that. Well, it's creepy, but it's a different level.
It's
I mean, there's
criminal.
there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, and I think I'm not really sure, but I think fucking animals is illegal.
I think most states. I think you'd have to do one of those deep searches like you did with the cousin fuckers.
Well, like in Washington, there used to be a fucking farm. Mm-hmm. You could go and fuck almost any animal, and you would literally, because it was still legal.
Do you think that's like one of those things like the midget community that everybody always talks about that never really existed, but everybody knows someone that went to the midget community, one of those kind of things?
No, I really read about this.
You never heard about Midget Town?
No.
Oh, that's always been a rumor around here. There's a whole fucking midget town, and everything was set up real short, and the houses were small, and you'd always have like, yeah, my cousin was there. There's always some shit like that. No one actually did it, but maybe the animal fucking farm's the same thing.
No, I read several stories on the Animal Farm because there was a guy that went there, a gay man.
I read Animal Farm. It wasn't nothing about that.
Different book. This gay man went there,
communism
and
or something.
supposedly it costs like $2,000. But they have like a whole farm full of animals that you can fuck.
Oh, supply and demand.
This guy wanted to get fucked in the ass by a horse. Okay?
This guy that died?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about
They
this.
put this fucking ring around the horse's dick so it couldn't go all the way in.
Yeah.
And apparently the ring broke and he went ball deep in this dude's ass and fucking killed him.
That's insane. Imagine the power of that stroke where it busts through your inner walls and knocks out your liver and your kidneys, and I don't know how he actually died, but it was that. It was like from his organs.
I would imagine it went into his fucking stomach or intestines and busted some shit up. Think about it. Dick's about this big.
Yeah.
And just put it on your body. Ball deep. It's going to go in here, hitting everything along the way.
Yeah, but I just figured you'd back wall it like in human life. You know what I mean?
He was leaning against something. They have a thing where they would put the horse's legs up on this fucking thing.
No, I'm saying that you would think the dick would just hit the back wall and stop. You didn't think
Oh,
hit the
no,
back wall
not
and
a
go all the way
horse.
through. I don't even know if the back wall exists in the male
Not
asshole,
a
but
horse.
either way. Yeah.
No, fuck no. A horse ain't going to go easy on you.
Well, I ain't saying easy. I'm just saying it like physically couldn't pop through whatever it had to pop through. I don't know.
A stallion going through fucking human tissue, no sweat. Hot knife through butter.
Okay, man. I'm just saying. I'm no professional.
But the whole
at this.
point is that people in our community are advertising, hey, can you bring your dog over so it can fuck me? Mm-hmm. I would never, I don't give a fuck what you look like. I would never have sex with a woman who
fucks dogs?
fucks dogs.
Oh.
No, it's not
I have
happening.
sex with her, man. I don't want to eat at barley corns with her. Like I don't
either.
It's gross. Actually, I'd share some nachos with her.
I'd
have a talk.
I'd have her on the podcast.
Yeah, I'd have a talk with her. But
I mean, how cool would that be? Have a woman, we'll blur out her face. Yeah, I fuck dogs, and here's why.
I feel like if you fuck dogs, you shouldn't need your face blurred out.
Oh, you especially need your face blurred out.
I just feel like if you're willing to go that far, you have no pride. Why would you care?
Because I think most people, and I say most, let's say 51%, okay, I think most people that do these really fucked up, weird, twisted sexual things are just people like us with a fucking dark side. with a life and a family and a job and everything else.
Nah, you could be right there.
And I think that, okay, I'm not going to let anybody know who I am, but I am going to fuck my cat later. Shit like this.
Put a little kitty nip in my puss.
I'm telling you, I think people are more twisted and fucked up than ever before. The only difference with me is I tell the world about my twisted and fucked because they're not really that twisted and fucked compared to some of the real creeps that are out there.
You think that dry cat tongue would feel different on the puss or the dick?
I think girls want slippery.
You would think, but I mean, maybe there's that extra. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of sandpaper quality to that tongue, but it's not that hard.
I've never even heard of a woman getting eaten out by her cat. I've heard it about a dog a million times. I've never heard it about a cat.
I feel like cats wouldn't care. Cats aren't as prone to just putting peanut butter on something and then licking the shit out of it.
Well, no. I don't think cats really care about eating as much. And when the dog is eating peanut butter off your snatch, he just wants the peanut butter. He doesn't know what's under it.
But maybe if you take one of those laser pointers, they love hopping on those laser pointers.
They like scratching and biting at those things.
You start pointing it all over a girl's puss, and a little cat will hop onto the clit and stuff. You don't think?
And they scratch it, and they'll try to fucking get it.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about freaks here. They might dig that. You know what I mean? There's people out there to like their balls getting stepped on by high heels. Who knows if a girl doesn't want a little tabby scratching out her clitoris?
Those are like razor blades, though. Those fucking nails are like razor blades. That would really, really hurt.
Some people are freaks.
They are.
There's people that have like things in their back and get, lifted up in the air by these hooks in their back. You don't think them girl wants a fucking, especially one of those like naked cats. What are those spinks?
Those hairless cats.
Those hairless cats just hopping on your pussy after that laser pointer. You don't think that'd be a good time?
No.
Me either, but I would like to see it.
And it's so funny because people will listen to a podcast and they'll go, God, you really eat people's butts? You're fucked up. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not fucked up. That's the extent of my fucked upness and maybe a set of beads up the ass. I'm not into the crazy, weird shit. As a matter of fact, anybody who is, you're weird.
You would have felt, I went and seen Joe List last night. You would have felt out of place. He had a whole bit about how he's seen his wife's asshole, but she's never seen his. You know what I mean? He's talking about how he's never seen his own asshole and all this other stuff. And pretty much
missing out.
And pretty much the whole route agreed outside of like a couple tables. You would have been on those tables.
All right, so I know you think I'm weird that I've seen my own asshole.
Yeah.
I examine my body. If something's wrong with it, I want to know.
Yeah, sure. What was wrong with your asshole?
I didn't know.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with your asshole. You just wanted to look at it.
No.
It's not like you had a bad itch.
First couple times I looked at it in depth was when I wiped my ass and there was like blood on the paper. I'm like, what is that, a fucking hemorrhoid? Is that I scratched myself? I wanted to see.
Yeah, fair enough there.
And then the third and fourth time I looked at it, it was pretty interesting looking. I want to see the creases and the folds and exactly see what the anatomy
interesting looking.
See what the anatomy of my cornhole is made up.
You act like it's a crystal you buy at a gift shop or something. You're like examining it.
It's like a geode.
I've never seen my butthole, but I mean, it was more out of effort than anything. It might be out of laziness that I haven't seen my own butthole, not out of like, hey, I wonder what it looks like. It's just
mirror
like,
on the
I'm
floor.
not going through that much trouble.
Easy. Mirror on the floor.
I'm not even a good squatter. I might fall over, break that mirror, get a piece shoved up my ass. It's just not worth it.
Well, you're right about that.
Hey, we got an email this week.
Hey, I heard. You told me we had an email, but you didn't tell me who it was from.
Well, I don't know who it's from. I kind of do, but not really.
See, those are my favorites.
Email. Hey, we got an email. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, if you're one of the fucking 9 people that watch the show, nevertrustafartpod@gmail.com. You too can be a writer and contributor to the show, and we'd appreciate it, motherfucker. So write us, nevertrustafartpod@gmail.com. You can also still get a hold of us at shutupcincinnati@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up in personal messages if you know us. We will put it on the show. We will put your name if you want it there. We will not put your name if you don't want it there. This particular fella is named Dave the Bull. All right?
Dave the Bull?
Dave the Bull. The email is called The Ultimate Cuck. All right. Dave the Bull. Well. That bitch Chris finally mentioned me. He finally admitted he got cucked. Unfortunately, he lied when speaking about me. Yes, I fucked his wife like a black man, and she loved it. He can never satisfy his ex like I can. He did come to work, but it wasn't me who called the cops. He brought one with him. Without hesitation, I stepped to him, and in typical bitch fashion, he asked the cops to hold him back. I told him I was going to catch him alone, and he hightailed it up to Cincinnati. You won't let a guy eat your cum out of this girl's box, yet you would kiss your wife after she blew me? My asshole was as weak as you sloppy bitch. Come on down to Phoenix and we'll settle this. I'll put you in a dress and send you back to Cincinnati. Let me know, Dave the Bull. All right, for all you who don't know, last week Chris told a story about how his first wife had cheated on him with one of his friends. And then, then Chris almost beat his ass and all this other stuff. And then in the end, Chris ended up moving to Cincinnati and kind of forgot about it. Well, this guy's name was Dave, right? Was he right about the name?
He was right about the name.
All right. Well, I mean, because it's him, so of course he knows his own name.
That's not him.
All right, so Dave the Bull wrote in, and apparently this whole time, we all knew that Chris was into the cuck community, but we didn't know that he started out as the cuck, and then he is now graduated to the bull, according to Dave the Bull. But he showed you the way by fucking your very own wife, but he didn't say you in front of you, so I don't know why it makes you a cuck. But anyways, response?
Response is that is definitely not him.
That's not him? You don't think that's Dave the Bull? You don't think Dave the Bull's listening?
No, as a matter of fact, I kind of have a pretty good idea who that is.
I don't know who it is, and I laugh my ass off. But
I have a pretty good idea who that is. First of all,
the way it's written, I have an idea who it is, and I won't ruin the what I think on air. But either way, yeah.
I have a good idea who that is. But no, that never happened because first of all, there's a whole lot of errors in that, and the real guy would know, but I never, ever kissed her in any way, shape, or form after she was with him. When it was over with us, it was done. Nothing ever happened. Not the last fuck kind of thing.
Dave the Bull's claiming it's happened beforehand.
Oh, no.
So you don't know that. She could have been cheating on you beforehand.
Well, yeah, but let's say hypothetically she was. I'm certainly not a cuck then. A cuck watches.
Yeah, that's where I said. In the definition of the cuck, maybe that doesn't fit. Yeah. Unless you're just calling any guy whose wife is out there getting banged by another dude a cuck, which there is something to that. But
there's something to that, but the guy, at least even if he's not there, he knows. He's allowing it.
Yeah, maybe not. Either way, it's funny.
It's funny.
I laughed my ass off when I got this email. The ultimate cuck it was called, and he's referring to Chris, calling him the ultimate cuck. I love the idea, the storyline, as you say, of you watching first and then going over to the Bull later, but you really learned what you're doing from Dave the Bull.
No, that it's a good email, and I would love to definitely say that any of that was true, but none of it's true.
Well, I'm sticking with it. Dave the Bull's a real thing in my world. That's all that matters.
It didn't happen.
I don't care.
I guess it could have been possible that I could have been cheated on prior to us splitting
up.
Yeah,
that's definitely a thing.
But that certainly wouldn't, by any standard, make me a cuck because I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I'll
agree with you there.
But yeah, I know who that is.
But he was going to catch you alone, and you hightailed it all the way to Cincinnati.
What's the email address?
DaveTheBull@yahoo.com.
Dave the Bull at yahoo.com.
Yeah, if you guys want to hit up Dave the Bull and ask for advice, it's DaveTheBull@yahoo.com.
See, the only reason about it is, the email's awesome. Mm-hmm. I could never be the cuck.
No, me either.
I couldn't be the cuck.
No, me either.
I'm more than happy with my place as the head bull.
But I could see how anybody fucking someone's wife would call the guy a cuck regardless if he watched or knew about it. I could see the term being thrown around.
That happened like 30 years ago.
He's been working out ever since, I heard. Dave the Bull is pumped and ready to go, ready for this fight.
Like 30 years ago? Was there... I mean, there was cucking then, but I don't think it's like cucking now.
It wasn't popular.
I mean, hey, you know what? Bottom line is, whether he's, calling me a sloppy bitch, wants to put me in a dress, thanks for the email.
Yeah, no, thank you, Dave the Bull.
I'll take any email.
I appreciate it, buddy. That gave me a chuckle. I'm sure the audience enjoyed it if they follow week to week to know that Dave the Bull is listening. It caught me by surprise. I'm going back and even listening to the episode to see if his name was Dave, just to make sure. I love the accuracy of it. There's a couple throwbacks in the email to other things that we do on our show, as well as an asshole of the week, so they're obviously a listener and everything else.
Right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the email.
Thanks for the email.
And guys, this is kind of what I like. I like when you guys can play characters and write in, and then we have to guess who the fuck it is, and yet it's still funny. Or
That's
write
one
in
of two
yourself
people.
and do the emails. But yeah.
Or be serious about it. Call me a fucking
I mean,
bitch.
we had that for a little while when Vern was writing in, Vern Schillinger, and he kind of stopped writing. That was nice. We've had a couple different things like
he
that.
must
over
have gotten in
years.
trouble. He's lost like writing privileges and things like that. He must have gotten in trouble in the pen.
Yeah, there has to be something wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way you just quit writing us.
No, unless
That'd be rude.
He might have died. Vern might have died.
Hey, you know, I thought was dead for a second last night. Kamaru Usman. Did you see that knockout?
I did. And you know what? First of all, I want to give props to Harry Guy. He didn't do it on purpose. First, I thought he ruined it for me because I planned on watching it when I got home.
Yeah.
He came up to my table as I was getting ready to leave. He said, "Man, did you see that Usman knockout? It was fucking brutal."
Oh, and you thought Usman knocked him out.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I was sitting there going, hey. And then when I got home, I was pleasantly surprised that Usman got, well, not pleasantly because I really thought Usman was owning that fight.
He did.
Yeah,
I watched the whole thing. I was home last night, so I watched the fight.
But Harry Guy didn't ruin it for me because I thought it was the other way.
Usman lost the first round. Leon Edwards took him down. He's the first guy to ever take Usman down in the history of UFC. He won the first round. He almost had him in a couple different chokes and everything else. But starting in the second round through the fifth round until that knockout, which was in like the last 30 seconds or some shit.
Yeah.
Usman fucking owned him and just treated him like a bitch, basically.
Well, before that bell went off, if you asked me who's the best pound-for-pound fighter, I'm saying Usman.
I'm still saying Usman after he got knocked out.
Yeah.
He
went down like a bag of shit, though, didn't he?
It was perfect.
I mean,
it was perfect.
It was right on the neck, right under the jawline, and the foot snapped all the way around to the back. He was out.
It was such a perfect. He pawed at him with the jab or whatever, and he went to move his head, and as soon as he did, that leg came up and knocked him the fuck out. Perfect hit. Far into it.
Second most perfect kick I've seen.
Yeah, it was nice.
First one fell on the jaw of Mirko Krokop.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorites. With
Favorite.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I am glad to see that, though. You know, in the end, it made it exciting, and it's going to make their third fight exciting, but I think Usman wipes him on the fucking floor in the next fight. I just think Usman's so goddamn good, and
I know.
But that's what I love about that sport. You blink 1 second, and your career just completely changes.
But that's one thing I don't like about that sport.
Really?
Because, I mean, a good kick or a punch to the face can knock you out. You can be the better fighter in every fucking sense of the word.
But if you're
one
not
lucky haymaker and you're out and you lost.
But that's the thing. A haymaker, sure, whatever. But this wasn't luck. You know, he didn't get lucky and do that. The guy had perfect technique, and it finally worked.
He did.
You know,
caught him right on the fucking spot.
That's what I like about it is you have to be prepared to fight the full 25 minutes and never let down. Because if you lose 1 second of that fight, that might be it. You know what I mean? And that's a huge
Conor
knock.
McGregor knows that from Nate Diaz.
He got his ass kicked for like 2 rounds, though. He didn't get surprised by Nate Diaz. He just started getting
No,
his
I'm
ass
talking
kicked.
the rear naked choke fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm saying he was losing at that point. This Usman was never losing. Outside of the first round, he spent the next 3 rounds dominating him. He had just a minute left. It was decided. The fight was decided. And then he let his guard down for just a second.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, just 1 second, you're absolutely right. But has Conor McGregor ever been choked out except for that?
Yeah, every one of his losses.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he's been submitted, but I'm talking...
No, every one of his losses has been chokes.
Have they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Conor McTapper. That's what a lot of people call him.
Yeah.
But,
except for the one where his leg was broke.
Yeah, but he didn't lose. Well, he lost, but that was just because of a fluke thing. But he would have lost that, too.
So he got choked out in every fight.
I think he got knocked out once, too. Or, TKO'd. But, yeah, he got... That's how he lost the big one. I can't fucking think of names anymore.
Khabib?
That's how Khabib beat him. Was a choke.
Yeah.
That's
I remember that. You're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Poirier beat him maybe the first fight. I don't remember. Either way, and that's how he lost before he got to the UFC.
Yeah, I knew that.
So yeah, he's never been.
I'm just saying,
submissions.
That rear naked that Diaz threw on him was just so quick and so fast. They were facing each other. Next thing you know, boom, he's behind him, and McGregor just lost focus for a fraction of a second.
They were saying, no, not really though, because he was getting his dick kicked in, and they were saying that he should have been able to get out of that, but he didn't even try because he was so exhausted from getting beat. And that's another thing that McGregor's shown through his career is he doesn't really fight these submissions. Once they're on, he's just like, fuck it, I'm losing at this point anyways.
Out of it, yeah.
They weren't like just Hail Mary submissions. A Hail Mary submission would be like, Anderson Silva against Chael Sonnen way back in the day when Chael Sonnen beat the fuck out of him for 4.5 rounds, had him on the ground, just ground and pounded him. And then in the last 30 seconds, Anderson Silva threw up a triangle, caught him in it, and he tapped with 10 seconds left or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Last night's I wouldn't even call it a Hail Mary either. It was
a great kick.
Fell for it.
And love you, Harry guy, for not ruining it for me.
Did you see the fight beforehand where Luke Rockhold and Polavera, I think that's his name, I don't remember his name. But anyway, Luke Rockhold was in the fight. It was a great fight. They beat the shit out of each other, and at the end, he was losing. But he had him on the ground at the very end, and his face was all busted up, and he just started rubbing his bloody face all over the other guy's face. It was the grossest fucking thing.
Really?
So much blood. And he's just rubbing it. Like, not trying to fight, not doing anything besides trying to put, like, blood in his eye and shit.
Or open that wound up more.
It was his own wound.
Oh, the other guy wasn't bleeding?
No, it wasn't the other guy's blood. When they both stood up, his face was completely covered in blood, and they wiped it, and there's no cuts on his face.
And he won.
It was all from Rockhold's. Yeah, the guy on the ground won. He won the majority of the fight.
Yeah.
Just Rockhold had him down in his last 30 seconds.
I would like to see that.
Oh, it was nasty. You're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Where was the cut?
I think it was his nose was busted.
His nose.
But his face was all fucked up at that point. It was a hell of a fight. Luke Rockhold had his heart for days.
Any female fights last night?
Yeah, yes, but I don't even remember their names. There was a submission, I believe. Or no, it was ground and pound. Not worth it. All right, this is boring. Let's go on.
All right. So here's what I was sitting here thinking about. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
This is something I've always wondered because my answer may differ from yours. If you could, if a genie would pop into your house one
Suck
morning.
my own dick? Nah,
No,
probably not.
I would.
I
wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't do it all the time. You get bored of it eventually.
Oh, no. I'd think of new techniques.
You don't jerk off all day.
No.
You know what I mean? It would be the same thing.
Would you have a vagina if you can have a vagina for 3 days?
Just 3 days?
3 days. I would, and
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I would
3
do.
days, of course. I just experience.
I'd stick everything in it.
Ugh.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Table lamp, I'd spend so much money on
This
dildos
would be a
and
fresh
stuff.
vagina, so you're going to put up a lot. If you only have a vagina.
It's not going to have a cherry in it.
Okay, so we're talking about a used vagina.
We're talking about a slightly used vagina.
All right,
We're
so
talking about an average, everyday vagina. Let's say a college senior with limited experience.
Yeah, so like, when you go to the mall and they got lids, store for all hats. Well, in this like weird world that we're living in right now, you're walking through the mall and instead of lids, you see lips. And you can just go pick out a vagina.
I'd pick one out.
And you're going to make sure you get a used vagina because you don't want that. Because you only have it 3 days. You don't want that cherry because that's an uncomfortable 3 days.
Yeah, and I don't
Especially if you plan using
to be
a lot.
able to stick a dildo the size of a fucking thermos in there.
No, you don't want a flopper.
Average dildos. I don't want any
you just want a normal
roast beef or
You
anything.
want a normal girl vagina.
But I would play with the clit. I'd play with the sides of the clit. I'd play with the taint. I would play with every area of that. And you know what happened when I was done?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be the greatest fuck on the planet because I would know everything about the anatomy of vagina. And you can have a million sexual partners and consider yourself good at sex.
Mm-hmm.
If you had your own pussy for 3 days, you'd know every little fucking nook and cranny in that bitch. And, ooh, this feels good. Don't ever do that. Ooh, don't do this more. Don't do that.
But isn't it known pretty much that every vagina is a little bit different and every chick's just into a different thing? I mean, some girls can come by penetration. Some girls can only come by clit stimulation.
I think every clit's the same.
Maybe, I don't know.
You're talking about G-spots here. I'd find out if I had one.
Yeah.
I'd curve every finger every different direction. I would find my G-spot.
I think it's just the come hither.
Is that what it is? Just this?
It's like pretty much behind the clit.
I would have a vagina.
Yeah.
I would take a couple PTO days. I wouldn't answer my phone.
Because if I'm going to play with my vagina, I'm getting paid.
I'm playing with it all day. No, I'm not fucking any guys.
Well, why would you? That's gay.
Right, that would make me gay. But I am experimenting with everything I can find to put in there.
So that vagina you get full feeling from.
Full feeling.
It's not just looks there. Because, otherwise, if I don't get any feeling from it, I just pop it on my arm or something so I didn't have to go anywhere.
But if there was a timer, like on the wall, of how much time I had left, when I got it within the last hour, okay, my vagina's about to vanish, I'd work on fisting myself just to see if I liked it.
Yeah, see if it works.
I want a vagina because when I was done, I would say, you know what? When I had my vagina, it felt great to touch right here. It didn't feel good to touch here. And I would try it. It'd be like a fucking punchboard operator. You like that? You like that? I'd be the greatest fuck on the planet.
Yeah. I'd just be a manager at Lips. And just to see the people that come in and buy vaginas, that'd be worth it in itself.
Think we could buy a store like... You know what?
Well,
there's enough rubber and silicone vaginas out there. We could probably make it happen.
Just make a vagina store, which is really just a fuck store.
It's a adult novelty store.
Like, towards men, though.
Yeah.
We don't have those.
No,
I
they're
mean,
all.
we do, but we
I
don't.
mean, they have pocket pussies and stuff, but they're
No, I'm
mostly
talking about like a
dildos.
whole store dedicated to just dudes.
They
Because
don't
like,
have that.
you know, the ladies kind of have that with Pure Romance and stuff. I know they sell some other stuff too, but that's all marketed to women for the most part.
It is.
You've never seen a sex store just marketed to men. And would you though? Because at that point it might just be a gay sex store. I'm not sure. But
Not if we only sold vaginas.
yeah. Oh, so you're not crossing over. You're not.
No, we're not
helping out
selling
the dudes?
buttholes or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you go to the lady shop.
Just because.
Well, guys.
Nothing against gay
guys,
men, but this store is for heterosexual men to hone their skills and use them in everyday life.
Maybe have a cocksmith at the back.
See where I'm going?
Or maybe that's what you call the people that work there, cocksmiths. You know what I mean? Like because they have to like really give you advice on how to do certain things.
Yeah.
You don't want just some virgin up
They
there
walk
working.
up to you at the counter. You're standing there, and they say, "Well, you know, my wife has a really tough time orgasming, and I don't know if I'm touching her in the right places." You could say, "Step right over here." Here we have the Rosie O'Donnell. If you'll notice, the bean is up here. It's got a really big hood covering it. Lift the hood. You know what I'm saying? You give them instruction.
I don't think anyone's buying the Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, I do.
Really?
I think
Who?
every guy has. I mean, what if a guy's wife looks like Rosie O'Donnell? He wants.
Then you want out.
No, he doesn't.
And no one wants their wife to look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Maybe he looks like us.
It doesn't matter. I don't care what you look like. You don't want your wife to look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, a lot of guys are
Even
into
Rosie O'Donnell's
worse.
wife's just like, man, can we get an upgrade here? Like the money's good. You know,
Lot
maybe
of
I like
guys
her
are into
personality,
worse than
but
that.
no one's into the way Rosie O'Donnell looks.
Man, there's guys out there married to real toads.
I'm getting you're married. I get that part of it. You know what I mean? But I don't. Married doesn't mean preference 100%.
No, but
And
that's
a lot of
what
people,
you have.
and a lot of times people that go through that, they do this because they're married, so they want something different. You know, something like that without cheating. So they
but this guy doesn't want to cheat. He wants to please what he has.
All right, all
so
right.
he's going with the Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, I guess. I just don't think so.
Hey,
I
here's
love
the
the
Brittany
interview.
Griner here.
I love the interview process at Lips. You know, like you have to have at least 100. Yeah, you think
100 sex partners?
Yeah, 100 sex partners minimum to be a cocksmith. This is for the cocksmith job, which is you're given advice in the corner and such. Let's think. I think you've had to at least have 2 venereal diseases. I think that would help because you can give advice on what to not look for and how to. You haven't had anything ever your whole life? Nothing.
I was told once I might.
I see. I've never had more than 100 partners, so I'm out. You know what I mean? Like
I'm well past that.
I know.
now.
That's what I'm asking.
But one time I had sex with a girl, and a few days later she called me and said that she was diagnosed with chlamydia.
Yeah.
I never got tested for it. She said, "Here's the doctor's number. He will give you a prescription." Apparently, hey, give me a list of your sex partners. I'll write him a prescription.
Yeah.
So I took the pill. I never had any symptoms or anything. I never burned when I peed, and I never had any weird.
Well, you might have got it
bumps
before it actually hit too.
I might have.
Yeah, and hopefully you did.
Well, if so, she must have had it quite a while before.
I'm just saying, I want my cocksmiths to be able to, coach you through a couple situations.
You think
that
we know
may
any
happen.
that might fill in that?
I don't know. I mean, we don't have to know anybody.
Ooh, Ryan. Ryan be the manager of Lips.
I don't think Ryan's had over 100 partners.
Yeah, but I think Ryan is very experimental, and I think Ryan knows every inch of anatomy on every species.
He'd be a good cocksmith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd be a great cocksmith.
he'd be a good cocksmith. I don't know if it hits on my protocol though. But
No,
that's just,
he probably hasn't had 100 partners.
no. I'd be shocked if he's over 20. Honestly, Ryan's went from one serious girlfriend to another, and I know he's had some ventures out. Things have happened over the years.
But he's enlightened.
But I don't think 25. You know what I mean?
Really?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't know. I have to ask him that personally. Maybe that's not something he wants to admit one way or the other. But
I think Ryan will admit anything at any time.
well, yeah, but there's a certain number where you're like, wait a second, you've been married for how long? You've been with Jen for how long? Like, how did you fit these extras in here? You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it now.
without saying that you're out there just slinging dick cheating all the time. But here's the thing. I know him. He's not. Like, he never has been that guy. I think they've had a couple problems once or twice, but it's not like an all the time kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, he'd still be a great cocksmith at Lips.
He'd be great. He could be the fucking
Well, he
face
studies
of
too.
Lips.
We're
I
talking
know.
about,
That's
we're talking
what I
about a guy
mean.
that studies. Like maybe he didn't have all those sex partners, but we're talking about a guy that puts a cock pump on for 8 hours a day and watches porn.
I know.
You know what I mean? So you're really looking
and
for
fashions a strap to it so it'll stay on.
Yeah. We're talking. This is who I want as my cocksmith. Someone that literally starved themselves for a week just so he could get a better looking dick pic. I mean, that's the kind of
And took
cocksmith you need.
supplements too.
Yes.
Oh God, that Ryan's a guy.
Yeah, we need to get Lips open at the old mall.
You know what? We'd put it right next to Lids.
Oh yeah.
After you're done buying a hat, buy a pussy.
Yeah, well, they got to know where we're aiming at too. Like we're taking. I had to make the logo similar. I don't know the logo to lids, but instead of like a hat thing, it'll be like a pussy shaped hat.
No. How about this? Because lids is LIDZ.
Yeah.
Lips could be LIPS.
Yeah.
But the round part of the P is a pussy.
Ah, nice. Yeah. All right.
You like it?
Here we come, mall.
We got, believe me, we can get in any mall right now.
Yeah, I think
Malls are dead.
I think it's like $10 a month. I don't give a fuck.
The mall even by my house, fucking Tri-County is a ghost town now.
They just sold Eastgate Mall, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
But Eastgate Mall is one of the few malls that's still busy, isn't it?
No,
it's not
that's a
busy
ghost
either?
town, man. I
Is
mean,
it?
if you go into like Dillard's and shit like that during school season, of course, there's people that go shopping there. JC,
But all the stores aren't full
But once
anymore.
you go inside, like the nail salon might be busy. Victoria's Secrets might have it. You know, a couple things
So
like
it's
that.
just like Tri-County.
Yeah, there's like 5 stores that do well, and then there's a bunch of stores that are just waiting to close. That's basically the way it works.
Waiting for their lease to expire.
Yeah,
and there's a million little carts out in the middle of nowhere that aren't even stores.
Yeah, you gotta that kind of stuff, and then you got like your Hot Topics are still gonna sell somewhat. Your Spencers, people still go in there and do shit, but outside of those, good fucking luck.
Right, I agree.
And a lot of even like J.C. Penney's is open, and I shop at J.C. Penney for the kids and myself for like jeans and shit. But I do everything online, so I'm still buying it from them. But I'm not actually going to J.C.
See,
Penney.
by my house, there's a freestanding J.C. Penney that's not in the mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in.
Well, you don't have to enter the mall in order to get the J.C. Penney.
Oh, they have their own entrance.
It's a big side store.
I thought Eastgate Mall was still busy.
Nah, no, not at all, man. It's a ghost town, especially compared to when I was little. I used to go there every fucking day for mall walking with my grandma when I was real little. We'd get there, all the old people would get there before it opened.
That's what the mall that had Metropolis in it. That's all they rented. They had a place that rented tennis shoes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. You could rent.
It was a
tennis
big thing,
shoes.
man. It was just full of old people that just walk the whole mall, and then after they're done, they go to the food court, have some breakfast brunch kind of thing, and then they take
even
off.
told you how far you've walked.
Really?
The mall was measured out.
I don't remember that. I just
need to
remember
walk from this store to this, and you'll reach a mile.
I went one summer, maybe 2 summers, where my aunt and my grandma were my babysitters for the year, and I would go with my grandma every day up there to the mall. Well, maybe not every day, but a couple times a week to go up there and mall walk with her and all of her old friends, because I knew I'd get Chick-fil-A at the fucking inn. And back in the day, you couldn't get standalone Chick-fil-A's. They were only in malls. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So Chick-fil-A was a big treat. You barely ever get to get it. And let's admit it, they might hate the gays, but Chick-fil-A's good. They got some good food. As far as fast food's concerned, they got some good chicken. Those waffle fries are the shit.
Yeah,
they just,
are.
They don't like the gays, so I try not to go to them all that often. But when I was a kid, I definitely didn't give a fuck. And I don't know if they didn't like the gays back then. I'm sure they didn't, but they weren't, giving money to conversion therapists. That's where I get at. Like, you can dislike them all you want, but really, we're going to fund the conversion therapies? Like, that's just nothing but just fucking up people.
I want to do that little thing that you and I were plan on doing with Scott Van Pelt. I wanted to do that little.
Yeah, why the fuck haven't we?
I don't know. We need to.
Yeah, we do.
We need to plan that in a couple of weeks, and we need to get Scott Van Pelt here. He said he'll take care of all the questions, and he's going to do them with numbers.
All right.
So there won't be an answer. It'll be, okay, how many of this happened, or what year did this happen, and the closest one to it is going to be the winner.
Oh, okay. I like that.
That's the way he wants to do
interesting.
it. Yeah, so it's like, how many people in this country have had fucking gonorrhea? You say 18 million. I say 16 million.
We're playing a game of luck at that point, though.
Well, yeah, but
that's not real trivia where like we're going to actually know it.
And batting averages and touchdowns and passing yards, things like that.
Okay.
But it'll be whichever one of us is closer instead of having an actual answer.
Hey, that sounds fun to me. That at least makes it, I guess, more.
Question is, what's the wager? We haven't decided on a wager.
I thought we were doing a dye job.
A dye job on the beard?
Or the hair, one or the other. I don't care.
All right, well, that's what we'll do. We'll do a dye job, and you have to...
I don't think the beard's fair, because you don't got beards.
I got beard.
It's not the same.
All right, we'll do hair then.
You know what I mean? Hair, we both got hair.
God.
What?
That's a tough one.
For you?
Yeah.
That won't bother me.
It won't bother you?
I'll feel like a douche.
Yeah,
I will feel like a douche.
Idiot.
Like, I'm going to feel like a douche that to walk around with pink hair or whatever the fuck you're going to make me wear. But at the end of the day, whatever.
And how long do we have to keep our hair dyed?
Month?
I was thinking week.
Well, then you got to dye it back. It's bad for your hair.
Well, no, they got some hair that literally...
Oh, you're talking about some washouts?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to look into that. I don't know. We'll decide that later. So we're not manic panicking or anything where it stays in there until you pretty much cut your hair.
Yeah. See, I don't want that.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking like a week.
I've never done any hair dye that was like that.
I know they have hair dye that lasts a whole bunch of different amounts of time.
See, I didn't know. I only like permanent shit, so I never pay much attention, I guess.
Well, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
But we will need a girl to administer the dye.
I never had pink hair. I've had a lot of colors. I've gone green, I've gone red, I've gone black, I've gone lots of things, but I've never gone pink.
I don't think I'm going to make you do pink. I think we can make each other do any color
Okay,
we
you
want.
can make me do whatever. Well, what color would you choose?
Well, I think...
Because I think pink for you, because I think that would bother you more than anything else.
nah, real men wear pink.
No. Not hair.
You're going with... you're going like a teal.
Teal?
Yeah, like a greenish-blue teal.
Oh, it's one of my wife's favorite colors.
Well, then she'll be all over you, and you have me to thank.
It'll bring me out my eyes.
You're going like... kind of like this color of the vape.
Okay.
I want something that stands out, like a turd in a punch bowl. I want people to walk by, and in the corner of their eye, they catch that green...
See, I want
bluish-
pink because I want people to think you're a gay wad.
It'd just make me an ally. I'll be a hero to the whole LGBT community.
Maybe. No, not really, though.
I will. I'll be a
Is
hero.
that what you think? When you see a guy your age walking around with pink hair, the first thing you think is...
If it's me...
It doesn't matter. Most people don't know you. I'm saying, like, you're going to be straight. You're going to be walking to a gas station with pink hair. You think everybody around here is going, look at that guy, an ally. No, they're looking at him going, this fucking gay.
How long do you have to talk to a man
Yeah.
before you form an opinion on gay or straight?
I mean, you can make that initial call, but you could be wrong about that. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying.
Would you, if you ever talk to me, would you ever think to yourself, that dude's gay?
No. But
Right.
I've met other people in my life where the same kind of thing, where I would never have thought that they were gay, and then it turned out to be gay. So, it does happen.
I just want to be an ally.
Well, okay, Pinky.
But one color only.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're not going to put a rainbow on my head.
I don't want to
right?
go any more than that anyway. So.
All right. So, hey, listen, we're looking for guests. We're looking
Hey,
for...
you want to be a guest?
And we're working on this this Zoom thing.
Yeah, we're going to do some things online. I'm going to figure that out this week. I think I'm going to get old Hat Mutson to give me a help on that, get him to download all the shit on his end and on my end, and then try to do a fake show, which is me and Matt. Well, not, show, but just make sure everything works out. And then hopefully in the future, we're looking to change the show up a little bit, guys. Not really. It's still going to be us being us. But we're looking to maybe have some strangers and shit on that we've never talked to. Maybe find a guy that has a book about some stupid shit, and we get him on here and ask him some dumb questions and see what happens.
Yeah, we've been doing the same thing for 2 years, and God, we love everybody that listens on a regular basis, but it does fall off from time to time. Even the two of us think, well, God, we got to spice it back up a little bit. Sometimes you get into a little rut. So we're just going to start kind of throwing ourselves out there, put people on here we don't know, let them rip us in person.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what's there to rip except unless you're Dave the Bull?
Well, Dave the Bull fucked your wife, so I mean, he has reason. But the rest of them,
he didn't cuck me. I've never been the cuck.
never.
I couldn't do that.
Always the bull.
And you know
never
what?
the
The thing
cuck.
about it is, even though I find it totally acceptable,
Yeah.
to hear how I put that X sound in there.
Yeah, you
I
go
find
ahead.
it acceptable.
Taco.
Whatever your sexual fetish is, as long as it's not a fucking dog or a fucking something weird, I don't judge you. I'm a non-judgmental guy, but I just couldn't be on the other end of it.
See, I don't like that term when people say that. I don't judge you. Because I'll judge you. You're totally judged. I just won't hold that judgment against you.
All right, well, maybe
the way
that's what
I
I
look.
meant.
I'm going to, when me and my friends talk about you, we're going to, you fucking weirdo, and we're going to make fun of it, and we're going to laugh at you.
And you guys do
But-
that all the time.
But in the end, still like you the same. I don't think
But the whole
anything less
point
of
is,
you.
all of my friends that rag me and call me butt eater and all that stuff, if any of you,
You got
guys...
any friends that do that?
Oh, yeah, they always make jokes. Hey, you eat butt lately, whatever.
Who doesn't eat butt nowadays?
That's my whole point.
I mean, the only
My
reason
whole
I don't
point
is because I'm
these
not
guys that say,
allowed, but...
oh, you really get your butt eaten? If you had a chance to get your butt eaten, you would.
Maybe you got a dog sound going on your
No,
phone now?
that is our trip text.
Oh, is it? You got a fucking barking dog? That's some shit my son would have.
I don't know how I put it there.
Oh, you're hilarious.
This is from Keyshawn.
I don't give a fuck about Keyshawn. That motherfucker won't come back on our show. I asked him to come back on the show, and he's like, nah, I did it once.
He's talking about an attractive lady that's on his game right now.
No one cares. Anyhow, anything else going on?
No, I just want more guests.
We're
We're going to reinvent the show a little bit, and we're going to get people interested again on different topics. But we are looking for guests, and it doesn't even matter if you're fascinating or interesting. We'll take care of that part.
Yeah, we have our fantasy football draft coming up next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Bengals tonight, right?
I don't want to go into too much details. Yeah, the Bengals preseason tonight at 7. They're not playing anybody again, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I noticed about preseason is what they're seem to be doing nowadays is they don't play these people in the preseason games, but I guess every year another team comes in for a week. And during that week, even though it's not on TV, that's when you're playing your starters and getting them that experience against real teams.
Yeah, Tennessee just did that with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we're doing it with Los Angeles. The Super Bowl's basically coming back next week. All week they'll be practicing against each other, and then then they have a game at the very end. They have another preseason game. So that's where Burrow's going to get a little bit more of his live action in. But then I think in those practices, they also make it a rule where you can't fucking hit the quarterback. You can't.
Well, like in
you know what I mean?
The Bengals played Dax.
Yeah.
They played him.
Well, Dax is different. He's a complete rookie. He needs some kind of time.
Right.
So
but he's slated as a starter.
Yes, but you're gonna put. So is it looks like their guard competition. It looks like the rookie's gonna end up getting the start, especially if he does well tonight and next week. Cordell Volson, I believe.
Yeah, over the kid they picked up from New England. Or
no, over Jackson Carman, the second round pick last year.
Oh yeah.
It looks like this guy just turned out to be a lazy bum. Is what it kind of looks like with Jackson Carman.
But the 3 we picked up in the offseason, they're all slated to start.
No, they're all
right?
good. Not tonight.
No, but in regular season.
Everybody's on track. They said that finally Collins is back. Lyle Collins is finally back to practices, and he hasn't done any 11-on-11s yet, but next week he's going to be full go against the Rams. So he'll get his time in. They'll all get their time in. I got a feeling Jessie Bates will probably report either next week. Oh, he's playing. Yeah.
But they're not any closer to come up with the...
They're not going to get the contract. All he's doing is... Listen, this is the move, and it's been the move for a while with most people that get franchised. They don't want to be franchised because they don't get that long-term deal, right?
Right.
But you also don't want to sit out a year. I mean, you sit out a year, not only are you passing up... Jessie Bates made like $5.5 million for his first 4 years together, and now he's getting an offer to contract for $13 million or whatever for 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, of course he doesn't want a 1-year contract. He wants that lifetime money, and I understand all that. But you're also not going to pass up $13 million, sit out a year, and not have anybody see you, and then come back the next year. You're not going to get the biggest contract you could get anyways. People are going to say, well, you sat out a year. It might not be the same anymore. I mean, look at what happened to Bell when he did that. He was never the same running back again. No. Of course, he made a mistake of signing with the fucking Jets where you have no chance. But either way, he hurt his career by doing that. And I think a lot of people
He killed his career by doing that. He was the number 1 fantasy back for, 3-4 years in a row?
Great. He was great. The question is, would his career been over by that point anyways? Maybe, because his style was so built on quickness, and you're going to lose that with age.
Yeah.
So, there's that argument to be made, but there's definitely no argument to be made that he made a mistake by sitting out that year from Pittsburgh instead of just signing that 1-year contract, playing, and then go signing the big free agent deal.
Right.
That would have been the move. And I think Bates will do the same thing. And I think next week he'll come back. He's going to miss all the preseason, but does he really need the preseason at this point? The guy's been playing football since he was 5.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knows what's going on.
He's still working out somewhere.
And he's still in good shape. Yeah. He's been in that same defense for a few years now, so it's not like they're adding new shit to it. And he's fine. He don't need to do the preseason. Just like he wouldn't be playing much in the preseason anyways, as we see with these other guys. They just don't play preseason anymore.
They don't even dress.
Yeah, that's it's just different than it used to be.
Yeah.
They used to at least give him like a couple snaps.
You got the first 2 series or whatever.
Yeah, first 2. It was pretty much normal. The first 1 series the first game, 2 series the second game, and then usually the third game they would play till halftime, and then they wouldn't play in the fourth game. That was the way it always used to be. And nowadays they play maybe the third game for a quarter, and then that's about it.
That's it.
If that, I don't think Burrow is going to take a preseason snap. Why? You know what I mean? Why? There's no point in it.
Well, they got Bengals have 3 quarterbacks to knock down to 1 or maybe 2. I mean, they've got to see these guys.
No, but it's pretty much decided. Brandon Allen's going to be your backup. He got a concussion.
A bad concussion.
So he's probably not even going to play this week.
And that Plitt kid was great in the first game.
He looked great, but they're saying that in practices and everything, he's still probably not going to be on the team when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
That other guy might be kept on the practice squad, but outside of that, they're going to run with 2 quarterbacks.
Well, as most are going to do. I think a couple teams will have 3.
You get to watch... I still like the preseason. I watch Chris Evans run. Will be nice tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Looking to see how Dax Hill does. I'm looking to see how that rookie lineman does. Wanting to watch out for Keandre Jones because we know him and he's a cool dude. So I just want to see how he does in general. I hope he makes the team, even though I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, did you notice in the last game, the first preseason game, even though it doesn't mean anything, Thaddeus Moss didn't look good.
Thaddeus Moss isn't good.
Yeah, he didn't look good at all.
He was all right in college because he had a great quarterback and a great team around him. But
in 3 consecutive plays, he dropped a pass, he missed a block, and then he had a holding penalty. 3 consecutive plays.
Thaddeus Moss is only on the team because Joe Burrow is one of his best friends.
Right.
Let's not kid ourselves on that.
Right.
And it kind of sucks because that Scotty Washington guy, who we also know,
Yeah.
doesn't get much of a chance because Thaddeus is getting the automatic, at least practice squad just because of his friendship with Burrow.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, can the friendship with Burrow keep him a spot on the roster?
It can keep him a practice spot.
Yeah.
It might not. Think about it. When Carson Palmer was our quarterback, who was the third quarterback then? Jordan Palmer, his brother, who was not good enough to play for anybody else. Never did play for anyone else, I think.
But apparently he's the best quarterback coach on the planet.
He's gone on to be. He's Joe Burrow, one of Joe Burrow's quarterback coaches.
And a lot of
Josh
others.
Allen.
A lot of others.
I think he went Herbert this year. Yes.
Oh, really? He got Herbert this year?
There's something to be said about someone that knows the perfect techniques but can't actually pull them off himself. You know what I mean? You can still know it. You just don't have the talent.
Well, apparently
to pull it
he's
off.
that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I'm looking forward to the draft. I'm going to make a couple guys are coming here pre-gaming early, so I'm going to try the rigged draft a little bit, and that I'll get them too not sober to draft well.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Hat Mutson?
He'll be one of them.
Well, he's a professional flower.
Well, he's gonna enjoy some
a flower
flower
arranger.
Maybe treat that spasticity.
I mean, Hat Mutson's turned into a new guy.
Hey, I found a fantasy football thing I almost signed up for last night. It's $30, right? It's for the show, the presentation, the draft board.
Yeah.
But it's cool because you can put everybody's name in, just like the one that Matt used last year. But this one has songs, intro songs and shit. So like when it's your turn, like going to the bat, like your song comes on. Yeah. Now there'd be a lot of programming I'd have to do the next week if I actually wanted to do it.
That would be pretty
cool. Because I'd have
cool.
to get all the music and shit together. But it would be kind of cool.
Matt used that same program this year, right?
I don't know if he renewed it or not. He has to pay for it every year.
Oh, it costs money every year?
Yeah, it's like $20. $20 or $30. This one was $30, but like I said, what I liked about it was the song. I could do a picture of them, make them look fucking stupid, make it say whatever I want it to say.
Hat Mutson's would be the dead sexy one.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
That would be great. Yeah, you pop that picture up, and it would pop up on the big TV, and the song would come on, then it would be Matt's turn to fucking do it. And you can do up to 3 songs. And the commissioner can
Marchetti would be some Irish jig,
something like that. Yeah, I would make something to make fun of each one of them.
Well, there's nothing to make fun of me for.
I'd figure something out. You know what I mean? I'd figure something out. Maybe not. It don't have to be make fun of them, but maybe just something that would represent them well.
I'm hoping in this draft coming up. I'm hoping for like a 9-10 pick.
Looking for 7. I'm the 6-7 guy. I like that. I like 7-8, 6-7-8, somewhere around there.
I'm scared of 1 because I know that I'm going to force myself to take Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even take him with 1, but I don't want 1.
He should be the 1. If he's Derrick Henry, he's the 1.
I'm taking Taylor, but
well, I love Jonathan Taylor. I always loved him.
Either way, I think he's either way. I don't want him. I don't want to have to pick.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate that pick.
Well, the good news is we want number 1 to go to Joe Harrington, who will take Mahomes.
Yeah, I seen someone's. Well, he might not take. He might take something even stupider, like a fucking Jamar Chase, which I saw was the number 1 pick. And another draft I saw in Cincinnati this week. Our big buddy Scott Stahl out there, he had his family draft, and they put the board up, and Jamar Chase went number 1 to some girl.
That's
of course,
stupid.
Yeah, like I'd love to have Jamar Chase on my team. Don't get me wrong, but I got the number 1 overall pick. I'm not picking Jamar Chase.
No, you're definitely not picking Jamar Chase. And you know what? I was looking at. It wasn't the fantasy guys. It was one of the ones that I normally study before the draft because it's one of the more knowledgeable guys. Mm. And I'm still looking at Nick Chubb at 16 and going, what am I missing? I mean, I know that the offense is different this year, but Nick Chubb's better than 16.
Not only that, but if they were smart, since they're not going to have Deshaun Watson at game 11 now,
that's what I'm saying. This was last week.
They would pound that ball with those 2 running backs. The
I
problem
agree.
is, like I said last week, you're going to get 8-9 in the box because they know that Brissett's not going to be. Not only do they not have really good receivers in Cleveland, but they don't have a quarterback now. So you know the run's coming.
A lot of teams pounded their run with Nick Chubb yesterday and went right by it.
Well, that's the thing. Chubb's is still real good.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
An absolute stud. And I hate to say that about any Cleveland Brown.
Me too.
Because I hate the Browns.
Well, and I don't think they're going to be that great. But either way, Chubb should get some points. 16 just seems too far.
Way too far. I was thinking more along the lines of 7 or 8.
Yeah. You got like Jonathan Swift and shit like that in front of him. It don't make any sense.
It makes no sense at all. I mean, how can you have anybody in Detroit in front of him?
Is that the name? Is it Jonathan Swift or is that a writer?
No.
I think Jonathan
Swift is an author.
Yeah, some old cool writer.
But I do like Swift. Matt Hudson cleaned up with him last year.
Irish satiric. He died in 1745. Here I am thinking he plays for the Lions.
Well, maybe he does.
Oh, well. Hey, we got
DeAndre Swift.
There you go. I like it better before. He's Jonathan Swift to me the rest of the year.
That's what he'll be.
They can go fuck themselves.
He's a white poet.
He's a great man. All right, we got to get around.
Oh, we do. Would you rather? Hey, before I do this, would you rather? I do want to just thank the Dave the Bull.
Hey, Dave,
for that email, and we really want emails from anybody.
Slinging that cock around, I like it, Dave.
We are, like I said, in the next few weeks, you will see some changes to the podcast. Tell us what you think of them.
No, next 3 weeks, but probably next month when I'll start scheduling some people.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll start seeing some weird shit on here. But all right, I got a would you rather.
We still got to get our heavyweights. Matt keeps on disappearing, so I never ever got the heavyweights podcast done yet.
Matt's just a world traveler.
Yeah,
now.
That guy's all up to some shit.
He just gets a whole bunch of flour, and then makes a road trip.
That's
what he's done.
Maybe just spreading flour throughout.
Flour and makes a road trip.
Hey, try some AK-47.
Hey, and the Vaporizer 10,000.
Yeah.
It's like the Ass Pounder 4,000.
It's better for your lungs.
It's like the AP 4,000.
Yeah.
This thing is like, you load it with an ounce, and 2 hits later, it's gone.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. Put a whole ounce in there.
But you can't feel your face for 3 hours. All right, it's worth it.
Then you eat raw chicken and you see stuff. You see really pretty colors and you see all kinds of shit that's not there.
It's just the raw chicken making them sick. That's it. It's like back in the day when they thought there was witches, but it turned out they just had moldy bread that was making them all trip. Like, fuck that, it was the witches.
Now it's the flour.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a busy week that week, Matt and I. We got the draft Sunday. We got the concert that was rescheduled Monday. And then we're off to Vegas on Wednesday.
What concert? Oh, is that going
Gin
on
Blossoms.
still?
Yeah, they rescheduled it.
Okay.
And I didn't think they were going to because there was only 2 dates left on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
I figured they'd say, hey, we got most of the tour in, fuck it. But they did reschedule for the 29th.
They may have already paid the fees to Riverbend or something. Who knows?
Could have.
I don't know.
And honestly, the concert's been rescheduled 4 times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So at least they're coming, and we've got our backstage passes and our front row seats. But I really want that free hour-and-a-half beer tasting that was promised the last time. I don't know if they're going to bring that back or not. But I mean, how much damage can I do in an hour-and-a-half?
Depending on what they mean.
What's an hour-and-a-half?
I know, but the beer tasting could also just be like 1 ounce drinks. You know,
yeah, I can drink 1,000 of them in an hour-and-a-half.
True.
You ever played that game? That beer game? Where you drink a shot of beer every minute, every 60 seconds you do a shot of beer?
No.
I don't know what it is that does it, but after like 15 or 20 of those shots, you've only had a beer and a half. You're starting to feel it really hard.
Well, it's because you're not usually drinking a beer and a half in 15 minutes, maybe.
I don't know what it is, but it's a shot a minute. You have a little fucking hourglass, and every time that hourglass is over, you just do another shot of beer. You get fucked up fast.
And I spent $14 on a drink last night. And I had
one drink?
Yeah, and it had 151 in it, so I'm thinking, all right, I may as well get this one because it's the highest alcohol percentage. Maybe I'll catch a buzz on just this one drink.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Fucking sucked.
No, because you got a jigger pour, I guarantee it.
I got a fucking comedy club drink. That's why. We went out to dinner, and then we went to the comedy club. And
where'd you go to dinner?
Some Lebanese restaurant in Mason. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was good. Either way, that was like a nice dinner, and it was still only cost us like $55 altogether, and it cost over that at the comedy club for 2 drinks and some French fries. They just fuck you.
Seriously?
Yes.
What did she drink?
Same. Hers cost the same amount, but it was some kind of foofy drink.
$14.
Yeah, $14 per drink. You got to keep the glass, which we didn't keep because we don't need any glasses. But
did it say like "Go Bananas" on it?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
So you should have kept that. Was it a beer glass?
Yeah.
Could have stolen that from me.
I didn't have to steal it. We could have kept it. It was free.
You really should have.
We just both looked at each other like, we don't use these. And then
they're pint glasses?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I would have wanted.
Yeah, I don't like pint glasses.
I do, though.
I know, but I wasn't thinking of you.
You just tell it how it is.
I mean, why would I be thinking of you? I'm on a date night with my wife. I'm not thinking about you. We got issues.
Did you have goat at the Lebanese restaurant? They ate a lot of goat.
Lamb, buddy.
Lamb, mutton, goat.
Not really goat as much as lamb, but yeah, I had lamb. They had 2 different kinds of lamb. I got the mixed platter. It was chicken, lamb, and then ground lamb. I don't know why that's a mixed thing, but they did taste a little bit different.
Did you have rice?
Yeah, it comes with some rice and some vegetables and some shit like that. It was good.
It's good?
Yeah, dude, that Lebanese, Mediterranean food, all that kind of shit, that shit's legit.
Well, I like Greek food.
Yeah, it's all kind of the same.
I don't like Greek food. I was kidding.
Oh, you just don't.
I don't
like...
eat lamb.
Oh, okay.
I don't like lamb.
Why?
To me, it tastes gamey, and
it just tastes like steak to me.
Not to me. To me, there's a weird aftertaste in lamb. I just never liked it.
The only thing I don't like about most of that stuff is the tzatziki sauce and shit like that with all the cucumbers.
The cucumber,
I'm good on that. But the meat's always really good. The rice is always really good, and I just stick to that. But you can just go there, dude, and get chicken and rice. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the chicken they have is fucking legit. Almost all those places because of the way they slow cook them and shit.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to eat lamb.
I think there's dog in there.
Hopefully.
I say that about every foreign restaurant. There's dog in there.
I don't think there was any dog. But I looked in today. It was one of those open kitchens. We walk in, you can see the kitchen right away. And I looked over to my wife and I'm like, this is going to be good. She's like, how you know? I was like, there's no white people in that kitchen.
They were all Lebanese or Mexican?
They were all something. They weren't white. You know what I mean? That's
you won't find a lot of white people in any kitchen anymore.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You still got your...
Find a lot of Hispanics.
Yeah, of course they're in there. But you still got your grimy white guys that have been making living. Your Miguels of the world that have been doing this forever.
Your Miguel's of the world. Miguel's a good cook, you said.
He's a great cook. But either way, he's been doing it for years and years and years working in kitchens.
It makes some good sauce.
Hey, we got a Would You Rather.
Okay, yeah, we do.
You got to go to work. I don't got to do shit.
I got to go to work.
We can do this till 7 as far as I'm concerned. But
no, I got to go to work.
You got to work.
All right, Would You Rather. I'm going to bring you... And by the way, because of what you said, I'm committed to this point. I will not use the word fag on this podcast ever again.
You're going to try.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a real, legitimate effort because even though I mean nothing by it, I certainly don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody.
Doesn't matter. But
I do want to offend people on some level, but not personally offend.
But we did do an exchange. You said you wouldn't say fag anymore as long as you could say the N-word freely. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do it whenever you want. Throw it out there. Let's see what happens. That'll raise ratings.
That'll go great. But no, I won't. I like to offend people with sexual talk. Just use it like you use in
regular life, just throwing it out all the time and shit.
You've never, ever heard me say that word.
It's true. I've never heard you say that word.
I don't.
You know what, to be fair?
I don't like that word.
I've never heard anyone I work with say that word. And I know I work with some racists. You know what I mean? But they're at least smart enough to not throw that one out.
Well, no, I don't like it because I don't use it because I just hate the fucking word.
Well, it's awful.
It's an awful word.
It's awful.
What I'm saying, I use fag in a different context. But if it truly does bother some people.
Oh, it does.
Well, then I won't use it.
It truly bothers some people.
Then I won't use it. I will still talk about a lot of weird shit that's going to offend other people. But I don't want to specifically look like I'm going after any group of people, which that's not my intention.
Still saying retard, though.
Are you? Well, you go ahead.
You're not?
I don't say it now.
Really? On purpose, or just that's just not part of your...
It probably slips out every now and then. I don't make a point not to use it.
Yeah.
But it's just not a word that falls in my...
It just seems so prevalent.
But I do say retarded.
Well, that's medical.
Because I don't know if you noticed this before I get to this, Would You Rather.
Yeah.
There's a thing going around Facebook. Okay? And I got to admit it openly. And this might bother some people, but it's just... my sense of humor. They've got this kid with Downs on a split screen TikTok video. And next to him is the person listening to the kid with Downs. Okay? And basically the caption of this is, if you laugh at this, you're going straight to hell. Well, the kid with Downs is rapping a song.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know any of the words except for two. So he goes, my lifestyle, forever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people next to him are like grooving with him, like, hey, got this guy trying hard. And then some people just can't help but laugh at it.
Yeah.
I was one of those people. I haven't made the split screen TikTok thing, but I busted my fucking ass laughing.
Well, you're not going to either.
Well, no. I don't know how to do that. But, I mean, the whole point is, they're like, hey, here's a mentally challenged guy, and he's trying to rap. He doesn't know any of the words, so it's just my lifestyle, and then you see the person on the right go and start laughing. It's really funny.
Oh shit!
And to me, I'll always laugh at it. All right, here's one. I got one.
Horrible person.
I'm going to bring you a really disgusting pair of really shapely, curvy women. Two. Okay, mm-hmm. These women are big. These women,
I get it.
The razor can't reach a lot of places. There's stray hairs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's bushes everywhere. There's a lot of skin tags in this scenario. Okay, I'm talking two really big women, like on the movies.
All right.
I want you to have a 3-way with them for 2 hours. Lick here, finger here, whatever they tell you to do, you got to do. No condoms involved. They've both been tested. Or you lay on your back. I'm going to hold your pee hole open, and I'm going to squirt in a syringe of Tabasco sauce down your pee hole.
Ugh. So Tabasco sauce or what?
Or a nasty 2-hour 3-way with 2 unkept women. Now, the actual injection part, I'm not going to stick the needle in.
Hot sauce in the dick hole.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, it's shorter. I mean, it sucks, but it's shorter. I had my own little hot sauce in the dick hole the other night when you don't use contacts or anything, do you?
Uh-uh.
All right, so I don't know about you, I don't know about you listeners, but contact solution back in the day was just saline solution. There's nothing to it.
You put it in a little case, right?
Yeah, well, nowadays they got this new shit that works better to clean the contacts, but you put it in there and you got to leave your contacts in there for like 8 to 12 hours, and then over time it's fine. But right away, not fine. And I got a piece of grass stuck in my eye the other day mowing the grass. So I took a shower. I get out of the shower. I don't have my glasses on, and it's still in my eye. I'm like, all right, I need to get some of the saline solution to get this out of my eye. So I take this bottle. I don't have my glasses on. So I take this big bottle, squeeze it as hard as I can into my eye. I grabbed the wrong fucking bottle. All right? I grabbed the shit you're not supposed to. But it puts right big on the back of it. Says, if this goes in your eye, go see an eye doctor. Yeah.
Really?
Basically, yeah. Well, it says to wash it like a motherfucker, and then if it keeps on persisting, go see the doctor. It hurt so fucking bad. My wife heard me scream. She was in the other room because she didn't come
it hurt
in.
Instantly?
Dude, so bad.
As soon as it made contact.
Not instantly because I kept on squeezing. So it was like, so I had, a good like 3-second squeeze, which is a lot of liquid. And it fucking burnt. I sat there in that sink for like 10 minutes just washing my eye out, and it still burnt. My eye was bright red all fucking night. It still burned a little bit in the morning.
In the morning, it
still
hurt.
It was stuck around for a bit, and then eventually went away. But I kept walking through, she's like, what the fuck happened?
What a dumbass.
Oh, I felt like such a douche. Totally my fault. I just grabbed the nearest saline solution. I didn't think of the fact that shit you can't put in your eye, and they ain't kidding.
I think it's kind of...
It has hydrogen peroxide in it.
Was it bubbling?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I didn't look. I was too busy going, ah! It was so bad.
I'd have paid money to just sit in the chair.
It had to be great.
With a bag of popcorn.
No, it had to be great. But, oh, fuck.
But it hurt bad. So you're definitely doing the Tabasco in the pee hole. A whole fucking syringe full. Because that stuff is going to get down the pee hole into the fucking bladder.
We're going to have to keep that syringe because after I put the Tabasco sauce in it and I take whatever burn I have to get for punishment, now I'm going to have to take that syringe full of water and start pumping it out, to try to get that Tabasco sauce out.
Well,
just like I did in my eye.
If you're squeezing the water in, it's just going to force it further down. And you're going to pee it out.
Okay, well, maybe it'll make me pee. I'm not sure, but I don't know the science of putting shit in my dick hole, to tell you the truth. I don't know how that works, but I don't know. I'll try something.
I'm going with tons
3
of
hours,
fun.
man.
I'm going with tons of fun on this.
You're just fucking...
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Because chances are, if it's like I described where there's stray hairs everywhere and
tons of fun.
There's probably a little tinge of odor.
I imagine.
From different spots. I have a real tough time with odor, as we know.
Yeah.
I just think that could maybe do some serious permanent damage.
Well, of course it can.
The pee hole.
Yeah.
Like maybe, like take away sensation.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't ever want to fuck again?
You'd still want to fuck. You get over it.
Have you ever washed your dick with the wrong thing, the wrong kind of soap or body wash, and got just a little in the pee hole and it feels like you're on fire?
Every Monday, buddy.
We're talking Tabasco.
Every Monday, I break out that Dr. Bronner and treat myself to a little tingle. I told you that. Get that peppermint hemp tingle on my dick.
See, Irish Spring on your dick is fine. In the pee
I use
hole.
it, yeah.
Dove, not so much.
Now, according to the Are You Garbage podcast, Irish Spring is the most garbage soap. So when they ask you that question, what kind of soap you use, and people say Irish Spring, they get a mark on the garbage section.
I generally use Dove.
I think that's all. Well, no, Dial and Irish soap are the two garbage ones. I think Dove is acceptable. I'm an Irish, though.
I like the smell of Irish.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
And I have taken the knife and peeled off a section.
Dude, you drink Jägermeister and dip, you're done. You're garbage. So
Doug
it's fine.
Stanhope loves Jägermeister.
Doug Stanhope is garbage. I love him.
You don't like Doug Stanhope?
No, love him. I like garbage. I'm just saying, he's a fucking trashy dude.
He loves Jägermeister.
Of course he does. That guy likes anything, though. And
Jägermeister's his favorite.
And he's also your same age, basically, and grew up in the bars. So I've given him kind of the same excuse as you.
Is he white trash?
Yeah, of course.
No, he's not.
That part of he has white trash tendencies.
Because he drinks Jägermeister?
Yes.
He loves it.
And he shops at all thrift stores.
I don't shop at thrift stores.
No, I didn't say you were him. I'm just you dip. He doesn't. We different white trash tendencies. It's all right.
He smokes.
I think he quit.
Did he really?
I think he quit.
But
Or
he still
quit
loves
drinking.
the Jaeger.
Quit something. I forget. He was doing some kind of thing recently where he was doing 30 days in the hole. And I think it was to quit, sober up, quit smoking completely and shit like that. All right, you got a joke of the week?
I do. Joke of the week, but before I do, I'm going to give a prediction.
All right.
And everybody's going to know I'm right. Because actually, Wednesday night, I actually made a bet with a friend on a Little League World Series game. And I felt a little bit like Theo. But it was just with a friend. This team does not lose the series. The world champion will be the team from Hawaii. That is my prediction. No Japanese team is going to beat them. The Chinese team's not going to beat them. Nobody can beat these kids.
I'll let you know when I care about the world's Little League Series. Where the
No,
fuck
this
it is.
this is our future.
I
This
don't
is our
watch
country's-
children.
Our nation's future.
I don't spend my time watching children unless my child is involved.
Okay, I'm either watching Little League World Series or World Championship Cornhole, or you know what's on now? That bullshit that Harry got. Boom, what do they call it? Boom Town or Boom Chuckers or whatever. A dart tournament. That's on ESPN this week.
I think I'd watch the dart tournament just for, some shit we can talk about them next week.
See, I think one day I'm going to watch a dart tournament and I'm going to look in the background in the crowd and there's going to be a hairy guy with his chest painted or something.
Yeah, with a boner.
With a bullseye.
Full fucking boner. Oh, dart!
You rock! You're the fucking man! A fucking hairy guy.
Yeah.
All right, woman walks into a bar and she sits down. I don't know if I've told this.
You've told a lot of them, so just go
I
ahead.
know. All right, woman walks into a bar and sits down, and she says, "Hey," bartender says, "What can I get you?" And says, "Excuse me, 1 second." He walks down to the guy because the guy was waving at him. And the guy down at the end of the bar goes, "Hey, give me another Bud Light and buy that douchebag that just came in a drink too." He goes, "Excuse me?" He goes, "That woman comes in here a couple days a week. She's a regular, very nice woman." He goes, "She's a fucking douchebag, dude. Just buy her a drink for me." He goes, "Man, you got to watch the way you're talking. These are regulars. I know this woman." He goes, "You might know her, but she's a fucking douchebag. But buy her a drink for me." So he goes down there and said, "Hey, that rude asshole down at the end of the bar wants to buy you a drink. What can I get you?" She goes, "Get me a vinegar and water."
You definitely told that one, but
That's a great
that's a
joke.
quick little chuckle.
It is.
You got a fuck you this week?
No.
Whoa, look
Nobody
at you.
pissed me off this week.
I got a mini one I just
right,
thought of.
give me a mini
go
fuck
with
you.
it. All right, this is how ill-prepared I am because I don't even get the fucking name of the person, but we all know who you're talking about. The lady that first made the decision on Deshaun Watson. What was her name? You have any idea?
The judge.
All right, well, let's just call her Judge Dumbshit.
Okay.
All right. She comes down and she gives him 6 games. Now, the reports show that, her reports show that it was proven that he purposely made these ladies touch his dick when they didn't want to. That was in her final statements and stuff, that he did all this shit. But she gave 6 games because it wasn't violent.
Okay.
That's fucked up, dude.
That's ridiculous.
That's fucked up. Like,
And
I'm supposed to take you serious, and now I don't blame the NFL for challenging it. You mean they prove, to you without a shadow of a doubt that he was basically a sexual predator, and he had predatory behavior, and he made girls touch his dick that didn't want to, and because he didn't smack them, you had to give him less than you gave like a Ray Rice or some shit like that? One could argue that the sexual abuse is a little bit worse than the smack, with some of these people, who knows? But either way, the fact that you gave him 6 games because it wasn't violent, but you said he definitely was, a
still
sexual
fucked
predator.
with these women just as much.
You ruled that he was a sexual predator, but that's not worth more than 6 games.
I know.
It's fucked up, man.
It's
So
ridiculous.
Fuck her.
But you know what pisses me off about that whole Deshaun thing? Like how he still gets on there and says, "Hey, I maintain my innocence. I am sorry, however, for anybody I affected." If you maintain your innocence, motherfucker, and you know you're innocent, you wouldn't have paid off 20 of the women in civil suits. You wouldn't have settled out of court with fucking millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And they say, well, he shouldn't get anything. The fucking players union, he shouldn't get anything because, there's no criminal charges. No, because he paid them all off.
Well, I don't care what the players union
says.
says.
He settled like 20 of those things out of court with financial undisclosed amounts. You paid him because you knew you fucked up. You didn't want to go to fucking jail, so you paid him off.
Yeah,
You're like the Catholic Church.
I don't give a fuck about the players union because they're basically just lawyers, and of course they're going to say things in that favor. That's their job. But the judge ruled that he was a sexual predator, and then went, 6 games is fine.
And it's so shocking for a woman to feel that way.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it's a weird one.
I could see a fucking crazy Republican man saying that, but not a woman.
And I still, I look at the way the NFL challenged that, and the fact that they appointed their own judge, and then said, man, I don't like that ruling. I'm going to get a new judge and get a better ruling for me. It's kind of fucked up the way that all worked out, and I think that's going to come back and hit him in the ass at some point.
Yeah.
But Deshaun Watson deserves his 11 games more than he deserves the 6 games.
I agree.
I think 11 games is a lot more fair. I would have went the whole season too. Maybe career. If you, without a shadow of a doubt, proved this guy's a fucking sexual predator, and he did it, not only did it, but he did it a lot of times, I think, on like Team Dime, on NFL Dime, basically.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be in the league anymore, honestly.
And I think he'll be back just in time for the Texans game in Houston.
Yeah, it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it will be.
With all that being said, I'll tune in.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely tuning into that. They're gonna boo him from the second he walks on that fucking floor.
And the thing that sucks is the Texans suck, and he'll probably win that game. Because not only has he been practicing against that defense for years and years and years.
Yeah, but I still say I don't care how good you are. You haven't played in 2 years, man.
But I don't think they'll need him to win that game. I think Cleveland with Brissett can win that game. So, I don't... it's just the Texans suck. That's more what it's about. It's not about Deshaun Watson coming out and killing it.
Who's the Texans quarterback?
David Mills.
The backup?
Yeah, no, he
was a backup somewhere.
He was the starter last year. Now, he was drafted by them.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, but he's,
He's their starter.
Now, people are saying, the people that are in their little community and the beat writers and everything, they said he's kind of like a better Andy Dalton is how they described him. I don't know if that's true. Andy Dalton wasn't that awful.
And they still running with the 3 running backs. Last year they had Lindsey and Ingram.
I don't know.
And Gus Edwards.
You got to go to work. Fuck Gus Edwards.
It's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable, fellas.
It's not acceptable. And you know what? F word out of my vocabulary.
Anyways. That bothers me every time I put that S on the end, ever since Ryan pointed that one out also.
Acceptable.
I
accept your apology.
Hey, guys, until next week, it's acceptable to go fuck yourselves. See ya!
You can kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off now. Subscribe and share. Fuck off. Fuck off.